Tony, we heard just now about the efforts on climate change dating back to '01 in this administration.
Yeah.
Why did the topic not rate a State of the Union message until this year?
Well, the fact is, whether it rates a State of the Union message, most of the State of the Union messages have been targeted toward significant themes. Many of them quite understandably about the war on terror. On the other hand, if you take a look at administration policy, it has been aggressive, and you take a look, as Jim was pointing out, carbon dioxide intensity or greenhouse emission intensity has gone down. We've got a better record than the European Union. Now, the fact is that this has been a very aggressive administration in terms of financing the science, in terms of looking at alternatives, and in terms of taking the lead when it comes to climate change science and climate change activities. And I invite you all to take a look at the record in totality, because we continue to hear, well, when is the president going to admit that climate change plays a role? I mean, we've read the quote out to you many times from June of 2001. So it has, in fact, been a central precept of administration environmental policy from the get-go.
Does there remain a fundamental difference, though, the U.S. versus Europe on technology versus regulation?
No, I don't think so, and that's why what Jim was talking about is you've got a statement that'll be put together at the G8. It's more than 20 pages. And Angela Merkel is the chairman of the EU, obviously is chairing this, and she's got a keen interest in it. Tony Blair and the president have talked about this. And what you have to be able to do is to craft approaches that are going to allow nations to use their own best practices, to put together the resources necessary to clean the air, clean the environment, at the same time keep their economies growing. So this is in no way inconsistent with the general trend and tenor of the conversations. It's going to be an interesting, but I think a very constructive debate. I know there's a tendency to look at this as kind of a showdown, and I think that would be a mistaken perception.
Quickly follow on a couple of questions that came up from here. This sounds like the message today is this meeting next week is fine, but it's not the time to make any final decisions. We need to have some big meetings.
No, I don't think so. What it says is we have been having a series of big meetings, and what you have to do is to prepare for life after Kyoto. This is, you've got the Kyoto Accord where a number of nations say that they're going to stay under Kyoto till 2012. Well, you have to start thinking toward the future. What the president's saying is, let's not wait until the last minute. Let's start working on ways forward. There are other nations that have not met their Kyoto targets and have made it clear that they're never going to meet their Kyoto targets. So what do you do how do you put together a policy that in fact is something that is going to be politically successful in those countries, economically successful, environmentally successful? This is a very practical exercise in setting ambitious goals and also trying to bring to bear the technology to do it. In addition, it provides a way to bring on board India, China, developing countries that were not part of it before, and in fact are increasingly contributors to the problem of carbon emissions and global warming. And as a result, if you can come up with that, that's a very significant advance in the overall global strategy for having a cleaner environment.